What up, Barb Gang? It's your boy JKG Brandon back with some Barbarian related Diablo Immortal content for you. You can see this is part 2 in our gem tier list discussion. We're again, just to recap, we're going over the 1 stars in one video, 2 stars in another video, and then we're going to do the 5 stars in a third upcoming video. I'm basically going at this with the point of view of if I'm starting a brand new account, free to play, low spend, you know, battle pass Andy type account, right? So that's the point of view we're looking at, and I'm kind of ranking the gems as we go through. Before we get into it, I want to say thank you for all the recent, you know, love on the videos and the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing and killing every obstacle that we you know come into. We're trying to hit 500 subs by the end of October, and then if we hit that, then we'll move on to, you know, 600, 700, try to hit that monetization plateau, and we'll try to have a celebration once we hit monetization. That being said, guys, you know, you want to help the channel grow and everything, hit that sub button. It is free. And then if you like the videos, you like my content, go ahead and hit that like button. It is free as well. And we'll just jump right on into these 2-star legendary gems, and we'll start out here. Power and command, alternating a bonus damage for primary attacks and skills. And then once we get to rank 3, a chance to dispel negative effect on each time that switches. We have that listed B tier kind of right in the middle of the road. I think that's a fair assessment for this one. I think if we're going to run power and command, I think this is more of like a demon hunter with their vengeance and stuff like that. Barbarians, I think we can potentially use this with Wrath of the Berserker. I think there is a use case for that. I just don't think it's going to be one you're going to want to really invest in. Fervent Fang, the boys have this one at, you know, A tier all across the board. Enemies take increased damage the more you hit them, and then you also do increased damage to the elite monsters. I think that A tier is a pretty fair assessment. I think in a frenzy build specifically, if you pair this with like a Zodstone for your ultimate off of frenzy, you know, you could get some really good damage out of that on your bosses and your elite monsters. I think A tier is pretty fair for that. In a niche, you know, frenzy build, you could maybe bump that up to an S tier potentially. Follower's burden, increase damage for each summon you control, decrease damage taken by your summons. I think I would bump this one up to actually a C tier, only because we do have our golems, and in Path of Blood specifically, golems are immensely useful to kind of kite around so you're not taking damage. Let your summons do all the damage. I think them having more damage and taking less damage is going to be a really good thing in that situation, because we do have our golems, and then if we run Davin's Legacy on the chest piece, we get 2 golems. We can kind of alternate them. And I think that's a really good option. I don't think it's a great option, much better options to invest in, but in a Path of Blood build, I would actually want to have a Follower's Burden equipped if I had it. The Hunger, we're going to heal after each kill up to every 20 seconds. And then also increased attack speed after we defeat an enemy. C tier, I think, is probably where this belongs. In a very niche build, maybe paired with the Steel Lamprey weapon, we might be able to use this in like a challenge rift build just to kind of keep healing up so we don't have to worry about dying as much, maybe. But I don't think this one is really all that great for a barbarian. It's C tier bordering on F tier. Abiding Curse gives us a chance to curse enemies, reducing their movement and attack speed up to every 20 seconds. And then we do more damage to those cursed targets. The more damage is good. We have this one listed right here as C tier for a barbarian specifically. I would agree with that. Doing more damage to the cursed enemies when we get to the bosses is going to be a little bit better for us to help clear in dungeons and things like that. But, you know, slowing down the enemies, we have shoulders that can do that with our Wrath of the Berserker. It's not that big of an advantage that I would recommend investing in this. So C tier, if you're a heavy PvP player, you can maybe make a case to bump that up to like a B tier, you know, middle of the road. But I think C tier is very fair for it. Bloody Reach increases the damage for distance for the distance from the target, and your attacks have a chance to decrease enemy attack and movement speed. Again, decreasing the attack and movement speed is kind of whatever in this game. But increasing your damage for the distance that you are from the target is kind of nice. Barbarians, we don't have a lot of ranged skills, but we do have our chains that we can modify and either run just straight up run the chains, or we can have, you know, the boulders come out or the harpoons come out. So we can run that. And then we also have the Thor's hammer build, where we can actually throw the hammer and do some pretty good damage. In that situation, I would actually say that could bump this up to a C tier, but overall I would actually keep this at an F tier, to be completely honest. In the niche build, you know, in one of those, if you're trying to make a ranged barb build, you can maybe make the case for a C tier though. Battle Guard decreases melee damage taken, and you move unhindered when low on life. So when you're low on life, you actually just move through enemies, you actually phase through their bodies, and you take less melee damage. They have that as a C tier. I'm honestly going to go ahead and bump that up to a B tier, which is, you know, middle of the road, right? F, C, B, A, S. I'm going to put that as a B tier for Barbarian, because especially for like challenge rifts, when we get, you know, so like we get swarmed in challenge rifts, especially, being able to move unhindered, it would be massive. And then we're going to be, you know, taking a lot of melee damage in those situations. So I think for a challenge rift build, I would put this as a B tier specifically for myself. Cutthroat's Grin. We gain a crit chance when attacking from behind an enemy, increased damage when attacking from behind. So we're gaining crit chance and we're gaining damage when attacking from behind. We have this listed as an F. I'm actually going to bump that up to a C, actually a high C bordering on a B tier, because Whirlwind, we can actually, we're attacking in a 360-degree range. So we're actually going to be hitting, if we're surrounded and we run a Whirlwind, we're going to hit somebody from behind pretty regularly. I think that is one that I would actually bump that up to a C tier, you know, high C bordering on a B actually. Lightning Core is actually going to be our last 2-star gem. This one I actually ran for a long time. Primary attacks and movement charge up to release bonus damage every 20 seconds and increased damage for time after a full charge. So your primary attacks and just moving around are going to charge this up, and then if it doesn't pop off when you have rank 3, for every bit of time that you're at that full charge that it doesn't go off, it's going to increase the damage, have a little bit of a multiplier. They have that listed as C. I actually think that's a B tier for a Barbarian, because we do so much. Especially if you run Frenzy as your main attack, you can run around using Frenzy as you know, a damage skill. And then also we are going to be, as a Barbarian, just the way we farm and the way we run challenge rifts and everything like that, we are going to be doing a lot of movement. And so Lightning Core, when that hits, it's very similar to when you pick up the conduit globe on the ground, or the conduit shrine. The damage that it does is very, very comparable to that. Just so it can unleash a really good amount of damage for you. So as a 2-star gem, I would actually say Lightning Core is probably one that I would actually invest in if I was starting an account today. I think Lightning Core and Fervent Fang are the two that I would really go hard in the paint on. And then possibly a Battle Guard would be a third. It would be like a third honorable mention if I was starting the account over today as a free-to-play / Battle Pass Andy account. And that was the last of the 2-star gems. We'll have the 5-star gems coming up in an upcoming video. As always, guys, if you like the video, like my content, hit that like button. It is free. Hit the sub button for us. We're trying to hit, 500 subs by the end of October. And if we can get through 500 subs, then we'll move on to, another milestone, but we're going to try to reach 1,000 subs so we can get monetized and have some sort of celebration on the account. And yeah, I'm JKG Brandon. Y'all been amazing. Peace.